Trailer maintenance is very important if you trail your rigs for very long distance. Typically, it's a good rule of thumb to service your wheel bearings at least one time a year minimum. If you do a lot of miles, obviously 10-15,000 miles a year, you want to do that more often. But basically, I'm going to kind of walk you through a basic inspection here of how to inspect your wheel bearings and what they look for. First, you want to safely jack your vehicle up to where the wheels are off the ground and you can easily turn them. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of grease in mine here because I keep mine greased up quite a bit. But pretty much what you want to do is once you get it jacked up and it's safe, you're going to grab hold of the tire and you're going to try to shake it back and forth, up and down. And what you're checking is for looseness. If it's very loose at all, that tells you that there's wear on the wheel bearings. At that point, that is when you want to take the nut off, take these bearings out, inspect them, clean them, and either replace them or repack them, put them back together, and tighten everything back up. If they're loose, general rule of thumb is, unless someone put them together wrong, which does happen, if they don't preload them, there is a possibility. But if they're loose, chances are they're wearing and they probably need to be replaced. But since these here is nice and tight, we don't have to worry about tightening them or taking them apart. I'm going to show you how to do the auto grease for most of your newer Dexter style axles. It's pretty simple. Once you take your cap off, you'll see there's some grease in here, and obviously we're going to want to clean this out with paper towels, which I've got a roll of paper towels here. We'll wipe this out. I have already wiped as much of the old grease off the end of the spindle as I can. That's what the axle rides on. It's called a spindle. From here, what you want to do, especially on this type of an axle, you can see the grease zerk right here in the middle where my finger is at. You're going to want to take a piece of cardboard. You can see we're already done the back axle. You're going to put it like this right here. Just underneath here, what you're doing is catching the old grease. You're going to position your grease gun or have some help. It's easier if you have two people to do this if you don't have an automated grease gun. So you're going to put your grease zerk on there, and from here, you're just going to pump it. You're going to start seeing the old grease come out. See, as well as I maintain this, you're going to see that they're going to take a second for these grease to start coming out, and it's really dark. This trailer right here has probably got about 5,000 miles on it since its last service. So that's why this grease is so dark. Also, we used a red synthetic the last service, so it kind of gets really dark really quick. So this is going to take a minute, even with the automated. If you got a hand pump, you're probably going to take a couple breaks here, but unless you got really strong forearms. But you'll eventually see this grease color change colors. That's when you know that the new grease is coming through. Okay, here you can start to see, off the camera shows this, but you can start to see the coloration change of the grease. So that's a good thing. That's what you want.
You can't really see it.
You can't really see it on the camera? Okay. Well, what you're looking for is a coloration difference within the grease. When you use the bright red synthetic grease, if you can still find it, finding it is getting harder and harder. What I have used to, I'm still using the synthetic, but it's the marine off-road grease. This stuff is waterproof. It's great for, it's off-road rated. It's great for marines use as well. So, I mean, these trailers, this is overkill for what we need here. So, you can never go wrong by running too good a grease. So we're going to pull this off. This can get kind of messy, guys. So what I want to do here is let this down. I'm going to take the paper towel. Then we're going to wipe off the excess. Here, this squirt it out. I do things a little different than normal people here. No one ever accused me of being normal though, but that's beside the point. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spin this for a second. Okay, it's nice, quiet, smooth. There's no friction, there's no noise. So from here, we're gonna put this back on. This is just a cap for the grease gun to keep it clean. From here, okay, we're gonna pull this back off. Put this up here to where it doesn't get all over everything. And I'm gonna leave a little bit of excess right there on the end. You can see how much grease that we've literally just pumped through this wheel bearing. You know, that's not a problem. That's actually good. So that's making sure that we've got all the oil changed. I'm trying to get the light here to where you can kind of see the transformation of color.
This over here you can see is a little purple.
So you can see the coloration between the purple and like the gray. The gray is your more molly. That's the reason why it looks that way. But when it first started coming out, you notice it was black. The black grease is obviously what we want to get out. If it's really, really dark and it has an odor to it, that is a sign that the bearing was running hot. Also, it's good practice to always torque or recheck your lug nuts every 50 miles or 100 miles on your trailer, no matter how you do it. Even with torque wrench, it's always good practice to retorque these because of the side pressure from twisting and turning. Also, the wheel bearings, it's also good to change the wheel bearing grease in here about every 3,500 to 4,000 miles. That's my rule of thumb. Thank God I've never had a failure, and that's probably why, because I do things overkill. But one other thing I'd like to cover on this here real quick, I won't get into because there's no way I'm gonna be able to film this. What we do here is also we need to adjust the brakes on these. Okay, to adjust the brakes on a car trailer, and also the drum style on like some of the older Jeeps, you're going to need an adjusting spoon like this right here. This is called an adjusting spoon. The reason why this is shaped the way it is because this axle comes out and up like this, and then the backing plate is here. So an adjuster is on the bottom side of the backing plate. So you're going to have to reach in there and adjust, either tighten it or loosen, to expand the drums out, to expand the shoes out on the drum. And you'll know you're getting close when you turn the wheel like this, and it's a light drag. It's just barely constant. It's normal to hear it pulse like that's normal. You're going to want kind of a light drag. If you adjust these too tight, as things heat up as a drag, metal swells. When it smells, the tolerance gets tighter, and that's when you overheat your drums. Also, one other tip as you're driving, every time you stop for fuel, like if you're on longer trips, just reach down here and put your four fingers, like right here on your rim, just on the outside of your hub. If it's warm here, okay, it could just be because you've been using your brakes a lot. If it's warm here, go ahead and touch out of part of your hub and feel it. And make sure, I mean, it's okay to be a little bit warm, but it shouldn't be hot to the touch. In other words, you can't keep your hands on it. That tells you that is running way too hot. If you obviously smell brakes constantly, or for smoke coming off of it, you probably got the brakes adjusted too tight. Back them off a little bit. Other than that, that's pretty well a basic 101 of how to check your wheel bearings, grease them, and what to look for. So if you guys have any questions, let us know, and we'd be more than happy to help or answer your questions. So have a good day. Happy wheeling, and we'll see you on the trails. Thanks.